Hi. So, what time is it? It's almost 10 p.m. But we're heading to the hospital because Max is having a fever. It started this noon time. It was 39, so I've given paracetamol, given ibuprofen. The only symptom is fever. He doesn't have anything else like cough, runny nose, or rushes or anything else. So we're okay with that. But the fever is not really going anywhere. It's still 38. And he's not drinking milk. So I think that's the concern for us because he hasn't eaten anything since 3 p.m. 3 p.m. he only had like 80 meals, so it's not really enough. So we're kind of worried. We're going to the hospital to do some blood test and just to make sure, that it's okay, it's not infection or anything. And we're a bit worried because of his adrenal insufficiency. So if he has fever or like this, or if he's stressed, it's very dangerous for him. So as much as possible, we'll just, check and make sure everything is okay. We're guessing it's because of his teeth. We've seen 2 teeth coming out.
One eternity later.
So I just want to close my video that I created to tell you about Max's fever. So today is actually 2 days after we went to the hospital to check for Max's fever. So just to explain more, so after that we went to the hospital, and the good thing is because Max was baby from NICU with adrenal insufficiency, so he has this passport. We call it passport. So it's just kind of like a card that we present to the pediatric ward in the hospital. That means then that he will be given right away a bed. So there's no need to go to A&E and, wait for hours there. So we just went straight to the ward. But prior to that, Romeo already had contacted them and told them about what's going on. And they decided, or they encouraged us to go to the hospital. So Max had a fever. It was high at the beginning. It was 39 degrees Celsius. And I first noticed that he was so sleepy, and I felt that he was really hot. And that cry when you're sick, I also do that. And then when I hear it, I just realize, that maybe he's really unwell, he's not feeling well. And so I checked his temperature right away, and so it was 39 degrees. So immediately I've given him paracetamol, and I've done just the sponge bath just to cool him off a bit, and then let him sleep. And then after 4 hours, so it went down actually, the fever. And then the second 4 hours after, check it again. So he still has a fever, which was 38 degrees, still unwell. And he isn't interested in eating or drinking milk. And so we just thought, okay, we'll give it a try again. So the next few hours, we just offer him, milk all the time. But, when the baby's sick, he just cry, he's unsettled, he wants cuddle, he wants to be carried all the time. So fast forward, so my husband came back from work, and we have still continued taking care of him at home. However, there is still fever, and he hasn't drank anything from 3 p.m. Except that 50 meals that was given to him around 8 p.m. But that's it. So it's just really worrying when he's not drinking anything, because for one, because of his adrenal insufficiency, he has a tendency to have hypoglycemia, which is like low blood sugar, and it's not something that we want to happen, basically, because it can, cause very poorly. So it's very dangerous for him. And every time we try to give him the bottle or the milk, he won't really take it. He will just cry, and we even like force him, but it's not really helping. And then that's the time that we said, okay, we'll just go to the hospital. So we rang the ward and said that we'll be coming. So when we came there, they already set a room for us, the side room, because I think they're worried also that he might have COVID or infectious diseases. But the doctor came in and checked him, because the symptom that he had at the time is just fever. So the doctor said that, it could just be viral. He's not coughing. He doesn't have any other symptoms. That's really worrying, other than, of course, decreased appetite. And when she checked and said, okay, can you show me how you feed him? And I said, yeah, okay. So, because the thing about Max is he's not, we actually have some troubles feeding him his milk, because sometimes he would take it, but other times as well he won't. So when, like, for example, you put the milk in his mouth, he would not immediately take it. He will probably take time, play a little bit, and then when you try again after 15-20 minutes, that's the time that he will take it. Or the trick that has been working for us recently is when he's sleepy, when he's about to sleep. So we give him his pacifier or the dummy, and then when he's really falling asleep, they would take the dummy out and then give the bottle, and that's the time he drank his milk. So very, very challenging for us in terms of feeding. So but we explained it to the doctor, and we showed it to her, and she said, okay, well, because he's able to just take the dummy, fine, but when he's taking the milk, he just move his head, so that means that there could be something wrong with the throat, and he's guessing maybe like a sore throat. So she also checked the throat. So she's given the spray just to numb the area, and then she said, okay, I'll try it again, and if still he doesn't drink the milk, then the next step is to insert nasogastric tube, or the NGT, to give him the milk. So of course we really wanted to not do the NGT, give the milk first. Unfortunately, after a few hours, and because maybe he's really stressed, because every time there's a nurse, there's a staff would check on him, touch him and everything, so he cries and cries and cries a lot. When we just touch him a bit, he cries again. So he's traumatized, I would feel. So it was very tough for him. I mean, the change of environment, I guess, and the people that's around him. So when we tried giving the milk our way, he won't really take it. And we thought, okay, probably he'll take it when we get home. So we talked to the doctor and said, probably we just want to go home. However, the doctor said, you can't go home, because, you of course can go home if you really want to, but her opinion, her suggestion is to really insert the NGT and just give them the milk, and when the baby's full, they will sleep or keep quiet, so that then he will have a good rest. And we've thought about that. I think our concern is because our experience with NICU and everything with NGT, he's had this tube for months until at home. He has this tube even at home when we feed him, and the thing is, he always pull it out. He would pull it out, like, after just a few feedings. So we just thought, I'm sure that he will pull it out. And then, of course, just the thought of inserting a tube again into him is not something that we are happy about. But I guess after the explanation of the doctor, it made sense, and we just decided, okay, let's do that. And so, yes, they inserted the NGT. He was fed, and right away he fell asleep, and we also fell asleep because we were tired. It was almost like 1 to 2 a.m. So that meant that we had to stay in the hospital. So we slept. And then he had no fever, which is really good the next day. He didn't take the milk through the bottle when he woke up, so it was given via the tube again. And then, but however, later on, we asked the doctor again if we can just go home with the tube, because we've had this tube and we know how to do it. I think, it's just really stressful for Max and for us. And because we felt that he will be more comfortable at home rather in the hospital, plus considering, of course, the infection all around from other kids, it's just really like safe for him to go home. So we were really like pushing it that we want to go home today, we can do it with the tube, and then we can just pull it out, like we know how to do it. So that was the plan, but the good thing is by midday he finally took the bottle and he finished the bottle. So it was really amazing. So that was when the doctor said, okay, we'll take the tube out and then you can go home. He has no fever and he's feeling okay. So, he just take good rest at home and everything. So when we went home, we were very tired, like the three of us. So we just really slept early. And actually for Max, it took a couple of days for him to recover. The next day, he was still not really feeling well. He doesn't have any fever or anything, but he just slept like really long hours. So we just let him be. And then the next day, we noticed other symptoms such as rashes and diarrhea. So we also were worried again because of the diarrhea. It could cause dehydration and everything. But he's drinking fine. He has no fever, so we decided to just stay at home, let him rest. It could just still again be a viral infection, and those symptoms can be the result of that. As long as he's drinking, he's active. Although he's not really like 100% active, I felt that he was maybe 50%. When I put him in his playpen, he would play maybe 15-20 minutes and then he cries again because he wants to sleep. So not really fully recovered. So we just let him rest again, continue with feeding and the medication. Well, of course, the hydrocortisone 6 dose. And yeah, today though, this is the 3rd day now, and he's, I would say, back to his old self. So he played a lot. He also still slept maybe for 2 hours every time he went to his nap. So in the morning and in the afternoon, which is really good. But he's showed a lot more energy today. He's, trying to get up, playing with his activity center and everything. So I would say that he's doing really fine. So I would think that the where he got this virus could be from the outside, because we went to the church and then we went to a party. So although I wouldn't really say that the people around us did not have any diseases, because no one's coughing, no one's really showing any symptoms at the time. But considering that he's premature, his immune system is weak, so I would think that just a small infection can really harm or can affect him in a bad way. Yeah, so that's it. That's our journey in the hospital. And yeah, he's okay. He's really active now. So that's it, guys. This is our first time going back to the hospital because he's sick. But other than that, yes, hopefully not anymore. So thanks, guys, for watching. Bye.